Hey everyone, I'm Grant and welcome back to the channel. I'm actually going to take a pause from working on my diesel swap to install something that I've been wanting to install since I found this last March. I now have a Warn 8274 winch and it had come with a bunch of recovery gear, but I didn't have a way of mounting it to my TJ. And I just recently found out that Warn makes a mount for the 8274 for a TJ Wrangler. So I'm going to spend today mounting my winch onto my Jeep. I'm going to get to it. Alright, I'm going to go over all the parts real quick. So this is the winch I had bought. It's actually been restored and pieces have been powder coated and it is just in fabulous shape. It did come with 2 synthetic ropes. I believe one was a Harbor Freight brand. I'm going to be using this one. I don't remember what brand it is. 2 different tree savers, a couple of D-rings, a snatch block, a really nice Warn fair lead, and of course the bumper itself. I have not opened it yet. Sorry, I shouldn't say the bumper, the mount. This goes on top of the bumper, but I need to actually remove some parts from my Jeep first, specifically this receiver hitch. Now, I had installed that because I used to have a ton of small trailers on my property, and this became wonderful when I needed to move stuff around and back them into tight places. I used to use that all the time, but I haven't used it in years. So we're going to be removing this, installing that mount, and getting all this gear onto my Jeep.
I started by removing the bolts holding the receiver hitch onto my front bumper. I then unpackaged the new winch mount, and using the supplied hardware that came with it, I went about installing the winch mount onto the front bumper of my Wrangler. With everything torqued down to spec, I then turned my attention to installing the Warn M8274 onto the mount plate. The winch uses square nuts to hold everything into place, so there is a little bit of a trick getting everything to line up correctly.
So admittedly, I kind of got lucky because I just realized I've had this for almost a year. I got this last March. Had I ever tested it? No. And I actually forgot. It did come with a wireless remote, which oddly enough is a Badlands Apex Edition remote, but it plugs in just fine. So I don't have the right battery terminals, but there's absolutely no load on this. And I just hooked this up and it works. Now, I'm thrilled with that. I do know these do hold some kind of oil, so I do need to pull this cover off and make sure that it has the proper amount of lubrication in it. But I am super excited to see this mounted on the front of my TJ Wrangler. This has always been one of my favorite winches. This is actually the first one I've ever owned personally. I've seen a lot of people use them. I've seen a lot of videos of them. And I really like it for the fact that you can kind of rebuild it yourself. And there's just a lot of history and heritage to this winch as well. So I'm going to get back to tinkering.
I was too excited not to install a Winchline, so I installed the shorter of the 2 synthetic ropes that I had and proceeded to make sure that it would spool up onto the drum without any issues. Though the synthetic line worked, I do think I'm going to upgrade to a newer synthetic line in the near future.
Alright everyone, that's all I have for this video. There's still a lot I need to do for this Warn 8274 to really be installed. I've got to figure out where I'm going to route the lines. I'm not sure I'm going to be running this rope. I might be getting a different one. But I have it installed and I really like the look of it. It really gives my TJ Wrangler the look I have been going for quite a few years now. Actually, with that said, I want to shut the hood and see how it looks with the hood shut. Move that. But that looks really good. I'm really happy with that. So that's all I have for this video. I'm going to get back to really working on the diesel portion of this build this coming weekend. But I finally got all the parts in, and I've had this winch for almost a year, and I really wanted to see it installed on the front of my TJ. And I am really happy with how it came out. Though there are going to be a couple of things I might tweak here or there. But anyway, that's all I have. So I will see y'all again very soon. Goodbye.